This is Nick with Bill Brothers Roofing, starting my digital inspection at 8918 Highwood Drive in San Diego. We are on top of a flat torch down modified bitumen roofing material. A lot of ponding going on this roof, and a lot of really soft spots throughout. So I'm going to point out a few things that really are just showing the wear and tear on this roof. But first and foremost, I want to talk about the ponding. So you can see all these areas where all the granules on this torch down material have started to accumulate. And so what this means is that whenever it rains, all the water ends up ponding in these areas, and that water just sits. And as that water sits over time, it ends up finding its way into the property, which is why we have such soft spots just like this. And you can see how the seams on this material have started to give way as well. So that right there is a telltale sign that the product itself has gone past its life expectancy. And you can see throughout the roof as well, all along the edges. This video can kind of see this, but you can see this nice dip that we have going on, and that's causing all that water to accumulate along the perimeter of the roof also. So you can see over here how discolored this area is. All the granules have completely depleted from this torch down material over here in this section and other sections as well. You can see all those granules just accumulating. So once the granules deplete, then all that fiberglass is exposed, and then once the fiberglass is exposed, then the waterproofing is greatly affected. Again, more ponding over here, a lot more ponding over here. We got a leak coming right from this section that the homeowner pointed out to me from the inside. And we can see how loose this material is. So check this out. This material is completely coming up along the entire edge here. So every time it rains, water gets into this portion of the roof, and it's trickling down into this corner of the room itself. Okay, you can see that all the mastic that was used to seal off all the penetrations has completely worn through as well. You can see how water and moisture is going to be coming down these pipes every time it rains. You can see all the patchwork that's been done over here along this skylight. And if this wasn't patchwork, then this was done with the original roof, which shows that the workmanship just really wasn't where it needed to be. But you can see how water and moisture is going to be coming down into these corners. And then you can also see just how cracked this skylight is as well. So this skylight will need to be replaced in order to ensure proper waterproofing. You can see all that sealant is completely worn out. Again, more ponding over here in this section, more ponding over here in this section. The majority of the granules on this roof material have completely washed away. So many of these seams are starting to come apart at this point. Here we got another one right here. You can see how loose everything is. So based off of what I'm seeing right now, and especially just over here too, I want to point this out for the homeowner, just how much granules are accumulating. Look how thick this is. So again, based off of all this, based off of the fact that the majority of the granules on this material have washed away, and that all that fiberglass is exposed, based off the lack of adhesiveness in the material as well, the seams coming apart, I am going to recommend replacing this roof. You can see how smooth this section is because all those granules have depleted. What I want to recommend to the homeowner is that we replace this roof with a TPO roofing material. TPO is a fantastic material when it comes to obviously waterproofing the house. And in a situation like this where we have so many areas of this roof where a lot of that water just accumulates in certain areas, it's important to make sure that the material that you're using is going to be able to withstand that ponding water. And that's where TPO comes in. So once that TPO is installed, the entire roof plane will then be turned into one singular membrane. It's extremely water resistant, like I said, algae resistant, but it's also highly reflective, so it's going to cool down the house as well. It does a great job of reducing the temperature inside the home. I'm going to recommend the same thing for this patio cover area. I believe it's a patio, I'm not really sure what's underneath it, but this flat roof would be included in my bid as well. We're going to go ahead and reflash each and every one of these penetrations. Again, the flashing and the sealant used around all these penetrations has completely worn through. The oils have evaporated from all this material, and water and moisture is going to be getting into all of this every time it rains. So again, we want to tear this down to the wood decking. There are a lot of really soft spots on this roof, so we want to address any kind of bad plywood that is underneath it. Once all that bad plywood is addressed, then we'll go ahead and add the TPO material on top of it. And then the homeowner will have a roof that they really won't have to worry about for the next 25 to 35 years after that. That's it for my inspection.